Welcome back to the channel. I hope your pursuit of getting a Service Academy nomination is going well. Today we're going to talk about one of the most important things, but perhaps one of the most overlooked things in obtaining an appointment to a Service Academy, and that is the DoDMERB, the Department of Defense Medical Review Board. I like to look at getting into a service academy as a three-legged stool. You need three things. You need a nomination from your congressman or senator. You need an appointment to the academy from the academy. And you need to successfully pass your DoD Medical Review Board. Without one of these three things, you cannot attend a United States Service Academy. So DoDMERB is probably one of the most important, if not the most important, but the most overlooked item on that list of three. So what is it? It's a way for the DoD to determine if a candidate is medically qualified. What it consists of is approximately two physical exams. One is a normal physical exam to make sure that you have a pulse, a heart rate, there's no physical abnormalities. And the second part is usually an eye exam. Sometimes these can be conducted at the same facility. If you go to a military facility, they usually are. However, if you go to a civilian facility, you probably will have to go to two different locations. One might be a hospital, a clinic type of setting, and then some type of eye doctor office or something like that. These tests are usually non-invasive. They don't draw blood. They don't do anything other than just checking you out. But what you have to do is you have to fill out a candidate form with all your medical history. And this is where a lot of people get into trouble, is putting down their medical history. So one thing that I would say right up is be very truthful with this. You have to put down what operations you have, what medications you have, what conditions you had as a child. Even if those conditions were fleeting, you have to put them down because they all have to be evaluated. I was talking to the head of the Medical Review Board at a recent Academy Day, and he told me a story about a student who had a knee injury. I don't know if it was an ACL, MCL, whatever, but one of those type of knee injuries. So the student had to go get an operation. The knee injury was corrected. He was technically cleared to attend one of the service academies. But when reviewing the medical records, they found information in there saying that the student had asthma. And that was something important to take in consideration before putting the student under anesthesia for the knee operation. That was caught as a lie. Actually, it instantly disqualified that student because the asthma disqualified him. And in my personal opinion, it should disqualify him anyway because he lied on his application form. So being truthful is really very important. So how do you get to a DoDMERB physical? It is usually scheduled once your application, your online application, your portal, whatever your chosen academy calls it, is near 100% completion. Each academy has a different threshold level for that, but they will not schedule you if you just go and open an application up and put your name and social in there. You have to be pretty well complete to have your physical and eye exam scheduled. And the reason for this is very simple. They are not going to send thousands and thousands of people who filled out a simple application for a physical. It's costly to the government and they don't want to do that. So what am I telling you? I am telling you that if you are very serious about going to a service academy, you have to get that application to a point where it triggers a DoDMERB physical. Without getting the DoDMERB physical, even if you get your nomination and your appointment, you will not be able to get in. So why is it so important to get that physical done as soon as possible? Well, it's very simple. Everybody has something. I was told that once. Everybody has some weakness. Everybody has something. You might not think it's something. You might have had, scarlet fever as a child. You might have had knee surgery, ankle surgery. You might have been in a car accident at one time in your youth and had a traumatic brain injury. All of these things are important. And many of these things are cause for denial of medical clearance. But the way that you get around that is that you have to apply for a waiver. And waivers take time. Now remember, we're dealing with the federal government. There's a lot of people involved in this. I know the head of the DoD Medical Review Board. He's still active, and he has no plans on retiring, and he does his best to keep up with everything. But it is important to get that physical done as soon as possible, because if you have something in your background that is flagged as a problem, you want to be able to have the time to have the government tell you what they need to clear you, and they will tell you what they need to clear you, and then go to the proper doctors to be evaluated and have them write you the clearance letter. Now, of course, some things are not always permissible, and I will not go into a list of that right now. That's really not the purpose of this video. But if you have something that, say unfortunately, say you're missing a leg or an arm or some tragedy like that, of course, those things will disqualify you. And it's unfortunate, but I think many people can understand why. But the point is, you have to get your application done as soon as possible, so it triggers the DoDMERB. Get the DoDMERB physical done as soon as they schedule you go. Do not reschedule it. And if you have a medical condition that needs further review, apply for the waiver as soon as possible. You don't need a physical condition that is easily explained or corrected to prevent you from getting into a service academy once you received your nomination and appointment. You don't need that. And that's why I said in the beginning, I like to look at this process as a three-legged stool. Because as you know, a three-legged stool cannot stand on two legs. It needs three legs. So in conclusion, go online, see what your application is, see if it has triggered a DoDMERB yet. If it hasn't triggered that, contact your academy liaison person. Say, what do I have to do to trigger a DoDMERB physical? And you want to be able to trigger that as soon as possible. And then once you get that physical, get it done, and hopefully you have no issues, and hopefully you have clear sailing all the way through the gates of your chosen academy. If you have any questions, send me an email. I will answer all emails. If you like these videos, please subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot, and truthfully, it motivates me to make more videos. So thank you very much, and good luck. Bye now.